There are moments in life when the weight of your desires feels almost unbearable. You've prayed, you've waited, and you've wondered if God even sees you anymore. But I tell you today with conviction, God knows the desires of your heart. He has seen every tear that fell in silence. He has counted every night you stayed awake, whispering prayers that only He could hear. You may think He has forgotten you, but He has not. God never forgets the soul that trusts Him. He is not absent. He is not silent. He is working behind the scenes, preparing a sudden miracle that will leave you in awe of His power. There comes a time when your faith must rise above your feelings. You must stop measuring God's promises by the size of your problems. The moment you think He's late is often the very moment He's setting the stage for your breakthrough. God does not rush, but He never delays. Every desire that was born in your heart with purity, with sincerity, with faith, that desire was planted by Him. And what God plants, He intends to grow. He has heard your cries for change. He has seen your longing for healing, restoration, love, success, and peace. And He is saying to your spirit right now, trust me. I know what you want. I know what you need. And I know when to release it. You see, when you trust God completely, you stop chasing after outcomes and start resting in His timing. You learn to surrender your timeline to His wisdom. Sometimes God withholds what you want because He's preparing what you truly need. Sometimes He delays a blessing not to punish you, but to strengthen you. Every closed door is not a rejection, it's a redirection. Every disappointment is not the end, it's a divine appointment in disguise. The desires of your heart are not forgotten. They are simply being refined in the waiting room of faith. The enemy wants to convince you that God has overlooked you. He whispers that your prayers are pointless, your patience is wasted, and your hope is foolish. But God's silence is not His absence. His stillness is not His neglect. When it seems like nothing is moving, God is moving everything. When it feels like the heavens are quiet, God is speaking through circumstances, shaping your path, and aligning people and opportunities to meet you at the right moment. You may not see it, but your miracle is closer than you think. There are seasons when God tests your trust by hiding His hand. You look for signs and they seem to vanish. You expect quick answers and they don't come. But that's when faith grows. Faith isn't proven when everything makes sense. It's proven when nothing does. Trusting God means believing that He is working even when you see no evidence of movement. It means standing firm when everything around you says, give up. It means saying, God, I don't understand, but I still believe. That kind of faith shakes the heavens. That kind of faith invites sudden miracles. A sudden miracle doesn't come from striving, it comes from surrender. It happens when you finally release control and say, God, I trust you even if I don't see how. God responds to surrender. He blesses obedience. When you stop trying to force things and start aligning your desires with His will, you create room for divine acceleration. What took others years, God can do for you in a moment. What seemed impossible yesterday can turn around overnight. One word from God can change everything. There's a difference between desire and desperation. Desperation is born from fear, but desire. True, godly desire is born from faith. When your desires align with God's plan, He delights in fulfilling them. Scripture reminds us that when we trust in God with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding, He directs our paths. That means He doesn't just see where you are, He sees where you're going. And sometimes the delay is not denial, it's divine protection. God keeps you from certain things not because He wants to deprive you, but because He wants to preserve you for something better. Maybe you've been praying for a change in your life, for that opportunity, that relationship, that healing, that peace of mind, and it feels like the heavens have been silent. But hear this truth: God never ignores a faithful heart. Every desire that honors him has an appointed hour. You may not know when or how, but it will come. The same God who turned dry land into a river, who brought light out of darkness, who raised the hopeless to victory. He is the same God working in your life today. He has not changed. His power has not faded. His love has not weakened. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. God sometimes allows you to walk through empty seasons to test your endurance and to prove your devotion. The waiting is not punishment, it's preparation. He's teaching you to trust him when you cannot trace him. He's building your strength, your patience, your humility, and your spiritual depth. Because when the sudden miracle comes, and it will, you'll be ready to handle it with wisdom and gratitude. You see, God doesn't just give blessings, he builds people to carry blessings. He's not interested in giving you something that will destroy you. That's why he refines your heart first. He purifies your motives. He shapes your desires so that when he fulfills them, you'll glorify him, not yourself. The desires that come from a surrendered heart will always attract divine favor. And when your faith and your desire meet at the point of trust, that's when miracles happen. Think about this. God has already gone ahead of you. He has prepared a path you cannot yet see. He has written your story with divine precision. The people you're meant to meet, the doors that are meant to open, the answers you've been waiting for, they are already in motion. You don't have to chase them. You only need to stay in alignment with God's plan. When you walk in obedience, miracles begin to chase you. Many people lose their blessings because they give up too soon. They grow weary in the waiting. They doubt God's promise because they don't see immediate results. But faith doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in perseverance. God is testing you right now to see if you'll still trust him even when the evidence is invisible. Can you still praise him while you wait? Can you still believe while everything looks uncertain? The answer to those questions will determine how soon your miracle arrives. There is a reason God hasn't given you everything you've asked for yet. He's not withholding it to hurt you. He's protecting you from what you cannot yet handle. He knows the timing that will bless you, not break you. Sometimes what feels like a delay is God saying, wait, I'm not done writing your story. And when the story is ready, he will unveil it in a way that will make every tear worth it. You'll look back and realize that his not yet was actually his I'm preparing something greater. Don't underestimate the power of trust. When you put your full weight on God, when you stop trying to figure everything out, you release the pressure to perform and invite his power to manifest. Trust is not weakness, it's strength. It's saying, God, I may not understand this season, but I trust your purpose within it. That kind of trust turns waiting into worship. It transforms confusion into confidence. It prepares you for a miracle that will arrive suddenly, without warning, without explanation, but right on time. Some miracles don't come gradually, they come suddenly. God works in divine moments. One moment of favor can erase years of struggle. One encounter can shift your destiny. One prayer spoken in faith can unlock the doors you've been staring at for years. That's why you must stay faithful. You never know when your suddenly will come. It could happen when you least expect it. When you've stopped striving, when you've surrendered your will completely. God specializes in surprises. When your back is against the wall and every plan seems to crumble, that's when you're closest to a breakthrough. God allows you to come to the end of yourself so that you'll depend entirely on him. He removes every false source of security so you can discover that he is all you truly need. And when you place your entire confidence in him, he releases blessings that no man can explain. That's the beauty of divine timing. It always leaves you speechless. You may be walking through a valley right now. You may be surrounded by uncertainty. You may feel invisible, unheard, forgotten, but trust me, God has not forgotten you. He knows the desires buried deep within your heart, even the ones you're too afraid to say out loud. He knows what keeps you awake at night and what breaks your spirit during the day. And He is saying, be still. Trust me. I am working all things together for your good. Sometimes, God's greatest miracles are hidden inside moments that seem ordinary. You might think nothing is happening, but something is shifting in the unseen. The invisible hand of God is orchestrating details you can't yet perceive. The very thing that looks like a setback may actually be the foundation of your breakthrough. The pain that brought you to your knees may be the soil where your miracle will grow. Don't curse the process that's leading you to your promise. If you've been waiting for years, holding on to a dream that hasn't yet come true, don't lose heart. God doesn't forget what He promised. He hasn't canceled your destiny. What He spoke over your life still stands. The dream that seems buried will rise again in His time. You may not know when, but you can rest in the assurance that He knows exactly when. God is never early, never late, always precise. Some of you are about to see a shift so sudden, it will leave you breathless. God is about to turn your waiting into witnessing. The tears you've cried in private will become testimonies in public. The delay you've endured will make the blessing even sweeter. The moment you stop trying to control everything and start trusting God with everything, the miracle begins to unfold. When God decides it's time, no force in heaven or earth can stop Him. When He says, it's done, it's done. Your struggle will give birth to strength. Your silence will turn into a song. Your pain will become your platform. Every obstacle will reveal why the delay was necessary. God will use what the enemy meant for harm and transform it into the very thing that elevates you. That's the nature of divine reversal. That's the essence of sudden miracles. God doesn't just answer prayers, He exceeds expectations. He doesn't just meet needs, He multiplies blessings. He doesn't just restore, He renews. That's why you must never give up on what you've prayed for. The same God who brought light out of chaos can bring beauty out of your brokenness. The same God who parted seas can part the obstacles in your life. The same God who raised nations from dust can raise your life from despair. So keep believing, keep trusting, keep walking by faith, even when you can't see the road ahead. The desires of your heart are not random. They're part of your divine design. If God placed them there, He intends to fulfill them. He is too wise to make mistakes and too loving to ignore your prayers. You may not understand everything now, but one day you'll look back and realize that every waiting season was worth it. Every delay was a setup. Every pain had a purpose. And when that moment comes, when the sudden miracle unfolds, you'll realize that it was never about how hard you worked, but how deeply you trusted. God's power is revealed not in your striving, but in your surrender. So lift your head, steady your heart, and trust Him.